for teams and agencies. Our mission is to continually lower the cost of customer acquisition, and our philosophy is the means by which we believe you can most effectively do that, by giving every promotion or even every single ad its own landing page. We have over 1 million pages that have been created on our platform, an average conversion rate of above 25% with over 300,000 users and 1,500 landing pages being created every day by marketers all around the world. Landing pages, what are they and why are they important? A lot of people think of landing pages simply as the page that you land on after you click on an ad or a social media link or anything else. In reality, they're a little bit more specific than that. They actually function as a natural extension of your digital advertising. They're not your website. They're actually part of your ad. It's the extension, the next subsequent experience someone is going to have when they click on a piece of paid media. And the experience of a landing page, for this reason, must match your ads. Yes, it's about matching the feeling of the ad, the tone of the ad, the copy, the creative assets, the colors, etc. But more importantly, and we're going to dive really deep into this, it's about matching the unique value proposition of your product that is articulated in a specific ad targeted towards a very specific audience. Your website is still very important, but it is different than your landing page. Your website is an exploratory experience where someone can learn more about your company as a whole, whereas a landing page is a standalone page. Here is a little more about websites, and then I'm going to show you an example. If you have a really powerful, great website, lots of information on there, I don't want to undermine that at all. It's really, really important to give your mid-funnel personas, people who are in the consideration phase of your company, of your product, of your solution, the opportunity to learn more about your company as a whole. That said, websites tend to be very unfocused because there are so many opportunities for users to take action. And as a result of that, websites tend to feature a very low conversion rate. If you take a specific advertisement and you're sending it to a generic homepage, that traffic can convert around 3%. And that is far, far from ideal, especially when you consider the average 25% conversion rate we see across landing pages within our platform. Here's a great example of a website, a platform many of you might be familiar with, Uber, the ride-sharing service. Now, this is just obviously above the fold of this website, but you can see here alone, there are maybe, I haven't counted exactly, but there are maybe 10 different opportunities for you to take action, 10 different call to actions here. Maybe the main call to action is start riding with Uber or becoming a driver, but there are a number of things that you can also engage with. Landing pages, in comparison to websites, as a natural extension of your digital advertising, have a purpose, and the purpose is to funnel a visitor towards a single action. There's no navigation and no distractions. Every promotion, or for that matter, every single ad needs a specific page, and this results in a higher conversion rate. Here is another example featuring Uber, and this is an ad on the Facebook platform. We're going to use a lot of Facebook examples throughout the course of this presentation, but the same thinking is going to apply to any advertising platform you're using, even a direct media placement, and also obviously including AdWords. This ad here is for a specific component of the Uber service, but it gets very specific even within that specific component. It's looking for people who want to drive for Uber but don't have the means to do so, meaning they don't have a car. Now, if I were to click on this ad and go to this homepage here, I'm going to have to dig around and find the specific component of the Uber product that is articulated in this ad. In comparison, here is the subsequent landing page that comes as a result of this ad. Yes, it's on brand. Yes, it is message aligned with the copy and with the creative assets as well. But most importantly, it is continuing to articulate the value proposition in this specific ad to this very, very specific audience that Uber's probably spent a lot of time, money, and energy researching how to target this component of the Uber product to that specific audience. You can see here that there are no navigation links. The only clickable elements on this page are going to be the elements that help somebody engage with this value proposition, help somebody engage with that singular call to action. And again, this is a screenshot above the fold, but if you were to scroll below the fold on this page, you would see that every piece of information is geared towards this specific value offer here. The reason why this is so important, and the reason why you should be using landing pages to create this level of personalization, is because you can. Digital advertising has never been more accurately and specifically able to target specific audiences. Facebook, as an example, it's got over 1,200 different criteria by which to target ads, including geography, including income level, including specific interests on specific pages. AdWords, the most popular digital advertising platform, believe that there are over $20 billion a year spent on AdWords, is really only limited to your data, research, and imagination, and the keywords by which you use to target your ads. Now, the reason that people have not been using this level of personalization and engaging in this kind of landing page marketing as a natural extension of their ads is because previously it was very difficult. In 2013, for every $92 spent on optimizing ads, only $1 was spent on optimizing a landing page, which is a little silly when you think about it, given that that is where the conversion actually happens. And this is why we believe that even though companies might be using a couple landing pages, most clicks for B2B companies are directed towards a homepage with that low conversion rate. The median conversion rate for AdWords is 2.35%, and a full quarter of accounts have a conversion rate of 1% or less. That is according to HubSpot. And the same reason for this is why we think that 78% of businesses are creating these poorly designed landing pages they fail to optimize. Our solution and other landing pages solutions make this level of personalization possible. When you have this level of personalization, when you're able to create this natural subsequent experience for someone who clicks on an ad that articulates something very unique to that targeted audience, you're going to see an increase in leads. You're going to see an increase in conversion rates. And that is why HubSpot has discovered that the more landing pages you have, the more leads you're going to have. The more leads you have, the more revenue you're going to have. The more revenue you have, the more successful your business is going to be. That is just the fact of the matter. And the reason is because you're not sending traffic to a generic page. Every single ad, every single promotion that is offering something unique, whether it's your spring sale, whether it is for a different one of your target personas, you're able to make a specific articulation of that unique value proposition as it relates to one of your personas. Let's talk about a little bit more about the benefits of this on kind of a higher level and why this is so important to create a consistent experience between your paid media and your product, and why that one-fits-all experience no longer works. There is such tremendous value of customizing the value of your product to the specific segment of your users targeted in an ad. Seth Godin, many of you are familiar with him, like many of you attending this webinar. He's one of the all-star marketers out there around the world. Our job is to connect with people, to interact with them, and leaves them in a way better than we found them and more able to get to where they'd like to go. That is what this level of personalization does. It gets people closer to identifying your product or the product being advertised as the solution that is correct and specific to their needs. Traditional advertising shouts at prospects, whereas content marketing talks with them. The translation of this is really that the one-size-fits-all approach to advertising is dead. It's been dead for quite a while, and the truth is that if you look at the trend to which everything is moving, one-size-fits-all no longer works. People are customizing everything. People want a custom experience that is meant to match their specific needs. That is why personalization comes down to two things in my mind. It comes down to humanization. It comes down to personification. Anytime we see an ad, anytime we engage with a product, anytime we're spending money on anything, we want to be treated like a human. We want to be an individual. That is why so many companies spend so much money on customer success and customer support, to provide this level of individualization. We don't want to be just another number in their customer database, and we don't want to be just another way for people to add dollar signs to their businesses. And that is what personalization does. It lets people who see an ad click on that ad and land on a naturally, excuse me, and land on a landing page as the subsequent natural extension of that ad. It lets them know that you really are thinking about their needs as an individual segment of your target audience. And that's why it starts with them. That's why it starts with defining your personas and knowing your audience, and using the information that you know about your personas to help you understand how you're going to target your ads and create those subsequent landing pages to create this level of advertising personalization. Here's an example here of two different personas for a marketing technology product, a SaaS product, perhaps like Instapage, maybe something else. We have Anne, our marketing manager at a larger organization. She is managing a team, and she has different needs than another one of our personas, Windsor, who's an agency account marketing manager at a specific advertising or marketing agency. And she needs added value, she needs analytics, and her frustrations are the time it takes to create landing pages and tracking a journey. Windsor, on the other hand, he needs better A/B testing. He needs integrations, and his frustrations are with budget and speed. Now, even though these two personas are ultimately going to be purchasing, ideally, the same product, they have different needs, and we should be articulating the value of that product to meet their specific needs, especially in the very top of the funnel. Here's a B2C example, just to kind of throw this out there for a music production course. We have Claire, the amateur musician. She has different needs than Travis, who's the aspiring music producer. Claire wants to record her own music, whereas Travis wants to produce the music of other people. They're going to be purchasing the same product. The same product is looking for these people to purchase, but they have different needs, and their needs should be addressed in that top of funnel stage and throughout the rest of the funnel. But we've identified landing pages as the lowest hanging fruit for this level of advertising personalization. A big part of this is knowing where your audience is coming from. And as two examples of this, we'll talk about Facebook and AdWords as different platforms and the qualities that you're going to get with the ads you're running on those respective platforms. Facebook, in many cases, especially that very top of funnel, first touch experience, is about educating your audience. Given that Facebook ads are served towards a user in the discovery phase of a problem, they might not even be aware of the problem. They might not be aware of the fact that they even need to consider your product in the very first place. And because of this, you want to focus on establishing the problem that your product helps them solve. Don't go for the sales pitch, and instead just focus on education and copy that's going to help with that kind of content. Here's an example of an ad that we run on for Instapage about A/B testing. In this case, we're not trying to get someone to just purchase right away. We are just trying to let them know how important A/B testing is and give them some tips so that they can actually engage with it in a productive way. This is very education focused. AdWords is a very different platform, and it's about solving the problem because AdWords campaigns are based upon keyword-specific targeting. Someone types a query into the search bar, and because of that, because they're entering information that's going to trigger certain ads to appear, they are already aware of a problem, and they're looking for a solution. If they're looking for maybe something that's more education-oriented, similar to Facebook, they still know that that's what they're looking for. And because of this, you want to go straight for the conversion. Create an ad and create a landing page that is matching the intent of the person who types in that search query. An example here is another ad that we're running for the term landing pages. You can see here is the ad, the best landing page platform, and here is the subsequent landing page with copy that is message aligned to the ad itself. As a summary of this section of the webinar, you can see here Anne and Windsor, they both have their different specific needs, and they will take different paths throughout their customer journey to ultimately engage with the product itself. But they are engaging with the same product in the very end. These ads and the subsequent landing pages are just being used to meet their individual needs and articulate the value of the product as it relates to those specific needs. Let's get started with this landing page personalization itself. And there are going to be two components to this: the content elements, the text, the color, and the creative assets that go into your ads and go into your landing pages, and then the contextual requisites, which is really about matching the moment a user clicks on an ad and using that as a way to engage in this level of advertising personalization. Landing pages have a specific anatomy that we like to follow here at Instapage. This is a landing page that we've created for a different webinar that I host, and there are four main components: the headline, the form capture, the creative assets, and the value proposition. All of these are very important. Arguably the most important part is that form capture, where people are actually going to engage in that call to action. The elements that go into creating your landing pages and are going to really explain why this level of personalization works comes down to the text and copy as one of those things. And you want to be using copy that's going to match the messaging of your ads and language that resonates with your personas. You can see here's Anne, our persona from before, and she wants to know about integration. She wants the mobile responsive pages. And you can see here the ad matches her, and then the subsequent landing page matches her needs as well. There's Windsor, again, the example from the previous slide. Color, another very, very important part of personalization. And yes, having the right color is certainly going to help everything with your business, something that matches the tone that you're going for, something that your audience can relate to. But having the wrong color is really not going to help you very much. In this example here, you can see that this premium executive chair, something that, that's a $3,000 chair. That's not a cheap chair. This, I guess you could call it a gray, blue, whatever you want to call that color, is something that is likely going to resonate with a premium executive audience a little more than this hot pink right here. Great example, a fictional example that we've created to illustrate this. You can see here that the color may not be exactly reflected in the ad, but the same tones are covered. Even the color of this guy's shirt here is geared towards the color in the landing page, or you could say the reverse as well. The color in the landing page is geared towards the color of the guy's shirt. You can also see here how personalized this is. It's showing someone that the audience can relate to. It has a headline that the audience can relate to, and this ad, we'll get into the timing of the ads being served. We'll get into that momentarily. But you can see here that this ad might be served to somebody who is at work at the moment. Maybe that they're so uncomfortable they can't focus on what they're doing. They're browsing Facebook, they see this ad. You deserve to be comfortable at work. You go to this landing page, you see that ultra comfortable looking chair. Another very important part of your landing pages is the creative assets that you're using, illustrations and video. So important. They help you build that emotional connection. They can help you go viral. But most importantly, they help you convey, they help you quickly convey complex narratives and ideas. And that's why they're so powerful for your conversion rate. In fact, video on your landing pages can increase conversions by up to 86%. And there are many different types of illustrations in video that you can use. The two ways that I like to break it down is looking at it in terms of live action or illustrated. I have a little bit of a cold, by the way, for those of you who have just joined, which is why I'm periodically taking a step back from the microphone. Hope you certainly understand that, but my apologies in advance. Anyway, there are two components, or two ways to break down the types of creatives you have: live action, real photos, a real camera footage of real people, of real things. Or you could go the illustrated route, which might be something like a whiteboard animation. It could be something kind of cartoony. It could be maybe you're a data analytics product, and it's something that is illustrating the abstract ideas that you need to articulate quickly. That said, there's a very different quality you're going to get with these two types of creative assets. In this case here, this example, this is for an insurance company. And if I am a family looking to have my family insured, keeping my family safe and healthy, chances are that this real image here, a real family that perhaps I can relate to, is going to resonate with me far more than this illustration right here of this cartoon-like family that doesn't quite come close to maybe what my family looks like. The eye contact here, everything about this is far more, provides far more of an emotional connection to your audience. In summary, on-page elements are going to create this context. The text is going to help relate to your audience. Color is a very powerful subconscious tool for influencing that kind of judgment. And then the creative assets to quickly convey complex ideas and provide that emotive context. Those feed into the ad, and then they feed into the subsequent landing page. Meeting your match, matching the moment someone comes to your landing page from an ad, incredibly powerful in terms of personalization, and let's look at a few examples of why. You want to tell a story. Telling a story is perhaps one of the most effective ways to create this narrative that happens when someone clicks on an ad and ends up on a subsequent landing page. And this is a really great example, even though this is not a digital advertisement. Using Uber, again, as an example, if you've not ever been to New York City, I spent quite a bit of time there a few years ago, but if you haven't been there, when you walk down into the subway, there are these billboards, I guess you could say, above the entrances. You pretty much you can't miss them when you're walking down the stairs. When you are in New York and you've got to get from uptown to downtown or wherever it is, you might have considered taking a taxi. Yeah, it's fast. It might be faster, but it is expensive, and instead you opted to take the subway. This ad is specifically being shown to someone and articulating the value proposition relevant to them at the time they are seeing it, walking down the stairs into that subway. There's the landing page, uber.com/New York. And here, and then here is the landing page that they end up on. Uber is now cheaper than a taxi, alleviating that pain point that they didn't want to take a taxi in the first place. And then here, never hail a taxi again. Now, this landing page is very personalized to the people of New York City. Taxis are very personalized to the people of New York City because taxis are such a common form of communication. If this billboard was somewhere else, maybe it would be articulating the value proposition of someone who didn't want to drive somewhere and instead wants someone else to drive them. Very, very different. One way to look at this is the product versus the outcome. The product being the means, illustrating the product in action that solves a problem, and the outcome, the end. And in this example, this is a fictional example we've created with our builder. You can see here a flight to Vegas, nonstop flights to Vegas from San Francisco. So first of all, this is going to be targeted to someone who lives in San Francisco. Very easy to do with Facebook targeting capabilities. But it gets even more specific than that. There are a lot of reasons to go to Vegas. Maybe you want to go to Vegas to party. Maybe you want to go to Vegas to see the shows. Or perhaps you want to go to Vegas to gamble. And the copy in this ad is geared towards that specific persona that this airline might be targeting. Win big with an affordable direct flight to Vegas. And the subsequent landing page, the outcome that the product provides, shows people winning. It shows those people winning the jackpot or whatever it is at the slot machine, and the copy relates to them as well. With a deal like this, you already won big. Another thing that I'd like to point out is you can see the gaze here of these individuals is geared towards this call to action, book my flight now. That has a very powerful subconscious effect on its own. Using the word my also provides a powerful subconscious effect because it increases the level of personalization, the one-on-one personalization that's going to be so powerful and really help out your conversion rates. Here's another example of product versus outcome, product being the means and outcome being the end. This is a very different example. It's for a B2B product. And it's for some software product that's going to boost revenue with more frequent engagement with your customers. You can see here is the product, a screenshot of the product in action, and the subsequent landing page showing these colleagues, presumably coworkers, whoever they are, gathered around a computer. They're smiling. They're seeing positive results. That is what this product is creating for them. The product is making them happy because it's driving up the ROI on whatever it is that they are doing. And again, you can see their gaze is directed towards the specific call to action. Get my free trial. Another way to look at this product versus outcome is the situation versus the solution. The situation is someone experiencing an unresolved pain point, and the solution showcasing that problem to, or showcasing the product that's solving that problem in the situation. In this case, we have Bed in Bed, a fictional mattress company. And this ad here, you can see there's a woman who's sleeping. It's 3 a.m. with this clock right here. You need a more comfortable mattress. Now, what's so specific about this ad is that you wouldn't want to necessarily serve this at maybe noon or 3 p.m. Perhaps serve this ad between 11 a.m. and, 11 p.m. and 4 a.m. when people are tossing and turning. They're having trouble sleeping. I see this Facebook ad when I'm on my phone, I'm browsing my phone because I can't sleep, and I'm going to click on that. That is incredibly powerful given my situation in the exact moment. There is the solution. It's the same woman looking comfortable, sleeping on that beautiful bed, and the value proposition in the headline is articulated very, very well. I see this at 3 a.m. I'm going to be a little bit curious. I'm sleeping on an uncomfortable mattress, and this might be my solution. A big part of this is also the timing. And as I mentioned, that one was served between maybe 11 p.m. and 4 a.m. This is the same product here, but it has a different value proposition given the moment that and the time the ad is served. This ad here might be served between maybe 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. And this is geared towards someone who, it's not that they can't sleep right now, it's that they didn't sleep last night. I'm at work, I didn't sleep last night, I'm on Facebook because I just can't focus or whatever it is, and I see this. Man, yeah, I can relate to that, especially with how I'm feeling in this moment right now. I click on that ad, and there's my mattress. There is the thing that's going to solve my problem, and I can have it in less than 24 hours. Sign me up. Again, the situation here, falling asleep at the desk, something that I'm sure we can all relate to at some point throughout our careers. And there's the solution, that ultra comfortable bed that we just want so badly right now. Timing doesn't have to be excluded to the time of day. It could be looked at seasonally or even the day of the week. Here's an example for an email productivity tool that has many, many different use cases. Ultimately, it's going to help you cut down on the amount of time you spend in your email inbox. Again, this is a fictional example, and you can see here that the specific value proposition of this ad is that your email inbox is getting in the way of you filing your taxes. It's getting in the way of you getting that tax return. And you can see that there's April 1st tax season here in the United States. That's a time when people who haven't done their taxes yet are going to be scrambling a little bit to get them done, perhaps. This ad might be served between January and tax day. And you can see here, if I click on this ad, there's the guy who's got all these emails that he's checking, and it's April 1st. He's running out of time to do his taxes. Get to this landing page. Stop checking your inbox. Start filing your taxes. And there is a review as well. There is a happy woman there with the empty email inbox, and she's gazing towards this call to action once again, this personalized call to action, connect my inbox now. The same product, but a different kind of personalization. Instead of focusing on saving time with your email inbox to work on your taxes, This is targeting a different type of person. This is somebody who is spending all weekend working, catching up on emails, and not able to spend time with their family. Great, great image here. Woman checking her emails. She's even got her phone open so she can work on two inboxes at the same time, perhaps. And then there is her daughter, presumably. Her daughter's doing her own thing. And everything about this ad would be geared towards someone who maybe they see it on sometime between a Friday at noon and maybe Monday morning. You can see here the subsequent landing page shows a family around a computer. They're happy, they're doing something together. Presumably they're not checking email together. That would surprise me. But you can see there, again, that personalized call to action. So for somebody who has a family, if you want to target someone on Facebook who has a family, indicates that depending on whatever their interests are, etc., and they're spending all their time checking their emails on the weekend, I see this ad, I click on that, and I see that family. I want to experience that. I'm going to check this out. Desktop versus mobile. This actually is also about timing, and it's not just about having a mobile responsive site. It's actually about considering the entirety of the mobile experience. When you're on your phone, you're maybe waiting for a meeting to start. Maybe you're on the train commuting to work, or maybe you're waiting for an appointment in the waiting room of the doctor's office, wherever it is. Mobile tends to be conducive to browsing. It tends to be conducive to discovery. Most mobile sessions are about maybe 70 seconds or so. Desktop is twice that, and that's why purchasing happens, especially for high-value products. That's why purchasing happens in a desktop environment instead of a mobile environment. And you want to create your landing pages conducive to the desktop or the mobile experience. As an example here, you can see two different pages here. There is this that is a very easy call to action, something that's simple to see. It's got that awesome mobile responsive look to it. And then here we can see that this is the desktop version of the page. They're very, very different, and this is geared towards a faster engagement. The call to action is far more accessible. Reviews are also a powerful tool for landing page personalization and message matching, and personalizing your ad campaigns to begin with. There are two ways that you can provide reviews. You can provide a review for someone that your audience can relate to, or someone that your audience wants to aspire to become. In this case, this is actually related to the personas that I showed you towards the beginning of the presentation. A music production course. And here we have this guy. He's a musician. He's learning how to do this. He's super happy because he invested his time and energy and money into this product. The subsequent landing page features him. It's not someone else providing a review. And you can see here, aspiring musician. So if I'm an aspiring musician, I'm on Facebook, I have this ad targeted to me as that aspiring musician, depending on the criteria, the research that you've done to make that effective targeting decision. I'm going to see this, and I'm going to see this is someone that I can relate to. This is someone who is has something that matches my needs, and they're articulating their perspective in a way that's going to help me make a decision. 61% of customers read online reviews before making a purchase decision, so you might as well provide that review up front in the customer journey. A different example, also geared towards a musician audience, is people who you might aspire to be, and targeting it based upon that. This is a great image here. Hard to book a gig without a website. Guy playing this guitar alone, maybe there's no one walking past him or whatever. He needs a website for his band. He clicks on this ad and he gets to this landing page. There's Coldplay, and regardless of what you think about Coldplay, whether or not you like their music, I think it's safe to say we can all agree that they're pretty successful. Chris Martin, lead singer here, he is endorsing the product, and that is something that as this up-and-coming musician, I would love to be to their level of success. I'm going to trust that endorsement and that review. In summary of this section of the webinar, message matching your ads and landing pages comes down to your content and the context. They both feed into each other. They feed into the ad, they feed into the subsequent landing page, and the narrative is what connects the two. Now, while you're engaging in this advertising personalization with landing pages, there's some things you're always going to want to do. Maintain brand consistency, A/B test, say thank you, and integrate your landing pages with your best business applications. Brand consistency is so important, helping you manage perceptions, take ownership, drive authority, but also too personal is a little too weird. And if you over-personalize, you might creep some people out. That's why Facebook doesn't let you target to an audience of like 200 people or anything like that. But you're also stepping outside of your brand guidelines, which is going to make evangelism difficult later down the funnel. As a result of that, and I'll actually go into our builder here to show you a few things, we've added a few features that are really cool. One of those being that we integrate with Adobe Typekit. So there are thousands of fonts to match what you've already selected for your brand or your client's brand. The other thing about our builder is that it is 100% custom design. Anything you want to do on this page, you can do. Another thing that you're always going to want to do is thank your audience. And yeah, people like to be thanked for doing things, but it's also about providing navigation to the next reasonable step for your persona and continuing to give them value, which is going to provide you with value as well. Let's look at a few examples of different types of thank you pages and how they can help with your conversion rates. You always want to congratulate for successful conversion. That's part of saying thank you, but you can also ask for feedback and do this by offering additional value and helping to eliminate buyer's remorse. Here are some pages that we built in our platform here that address all of these things. Thank you for signing up, reminding them why they signed up in the first place, and then having an additional call to action that happens on the thank you page that's triggered when someone engages with the first landing page. This is having them access their leads. It doesn't let them end their engagement with the product once they engage with that first call to action. Another example here, congratulating them again for converting, reminding them why they did it in the first place, and letting them know that we as this company, now that you are on board, we want your feedback. Yeah, it's going to be useful to us. We'll get some feedback from one of our personas, but it also lets your personas know that you are invested in them. You want to hear from them. It adds to that level of humanization and personification that is so important with personalizing your digital ad campaigns. And then the final example here. Thank you for signing up. Here's an ebook that is going to tell you everything you need to know to take advantage of what you signed up for in the first place. And then there's the call to action. Click on that, and then the ebook is going to download. Another thing you're always going to want to do, Nate Silver, whether or not you agree with his statistics, the guy's very, very smart, and he does know that there's always the risk that there are unknown unknowns. A/B testing is so important and allows you to avoid missing out on conversion opportunities. Now, a lot of people like to change just maybe one word. Maybe it's one color. Maybe it is just one creative asset. For the first A/B test you run on a page, I like to think about the big ideas. I like to make a big dramatic change to the layout of the page so I can identify the lowest hanging fruit for conversion rate optimization. One of the reasons a lot of people don't A/B test is because there's a lot of engineering effort involved. It's difficult to create these two different pages, have them served on the same URL, etc. But let me show you how easy it is with our platform. This is the landing page I showed you before for the aspiring musician here. There's Andrew. So this is the original layout, variation A. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to delete this variation actually. Delete variation E, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to skip the mobile review for now, just to show you this quickly. Skip mobile review, and here we are in variation F. Now, all I'm going to do here is, okay, those are grouped together, these are all grouped together. I'm actually going to ungroup these elements here. I am going to take all of these elements. I'm going to align these to the left. I am then going to go in here, drill into that. I'm going to left justify this. I'm going to left justify this. I'm going to maintain a group here. I'm going to group these elements together here. I am going to take all of this stuff. In fact, this is still grouped together down here. I'm going to take all of these things. I have now selected every single thing on this landing page. I am now going to align these to the left, and all I'm going to do is just move that right here. Another thing that I will do quickly is I'm actually going to go into this, and I'll ungroup it, and I will make sure there's equal distribution between these three elements on this page. So I'll go to distribute vertically. Whoops. And there is pixel perfect design. Let me go back and just show you what it looks like before I do that. So there we go. Alignment, distribute vertically, pixel perfect. And then there is the different version of our landing page. Perhaps variation A will convert better, perhaps variation F will convert better. But this is a really easy, simple way to A/B test your pages. And maybe that took me like 30 seconds or something like that. I see a question from Noreen. What is the URL that users see for the landing page? Noreen, I will show you that very, very shortly. A couple more things we're going to cover in this presentation, and then I will show you exactly how to do that. But to answer your question, you can use whichever URL you want. Custom URL is totally within the power of our platform, and we've done that so you can maintain that brand identity that you've worked so hard to create, and create a consistent digital experience across all of your web properties. The other thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to use integrations. And this is because landing pages are very, very powerful on their own, but using third-party technologies, whatever it is, whether it's Salesforce, Infusionsoft, Zapier, Zoho, MailChimp, etc., those are going to dramatically increase the power behind your landing pages. And it's really easy to do that. So let's go to, I'm going to actually open a different landing page here. I'm going to open, this is just one that I built very, very quickly the other day as part of a demo. You can see here, simple landing page. I go in here, I'm going to edit that, edit the pop-up. Here is the form that they fill out. Now, what happens when they fill out the form? We do store the leads internally within our platform, and Allison is asking about what the reporting looks like on the platform. Allison, that I will show you as soon as we wrap up this content right here. But getting back to the integrations, all I have to do, I can access them within our platform if I want to, but if I want to add those integrations, all I have to do is go here, select the integration that's most appropriate. Let's say it's MailChimp. I enter in my account data, I select the list, select the groups, and then I click finish. And it takes about 5 minutes to set up, like no joke at all. And then any information that goes here is going to be sent to the appropriate list in any of these services. And if you don't see an integration, a third-party technology that you like to use, Zapier is going to allow you to connect with over 500 other technologies out there. To summarize the bulk of this content, the content and creative elements are going to inform the aesthetics of your landing pages and your ads. They're going to help you tell that story. They go into your ad, they go into your landing page, into your thank you page, and that's going to help you tell this narrative, as you can see. There's brand consistency, there's brand consistency throughout this entire process. And your landing pages then feeds into A/B testing and feeds into your third-party technologies, feeds into all your integrations. That is it. Obviously, I could talk about this for many, many hours. And in fact, that's what I do here at Instapage. I write about it, I talk about it all day, all of us do. That said, this presentation is the nuts and bolts of what you need to know to engage in this very powerful level of advertising personalization. I want to open it up to a Q&A. And for this Q&A, I am happy to talk about pretty much anything on your mind. Maybe it's something general related to digital marketing. Maybe it's about landing pages specifically, about our platform. Happy to do a little bit of a product demo for you guys right now, if you can tell me specifically about what you'd like to see. But before